91.1 Tribe FM, and we were just listening to Koolta with the song Possession, and we got the opportunity now to have a chat to Koolta. How are you, Koolta? Excellent. Now, tell us a little bit about your music. I mean, it was fantastic. You won the 2011 Hilltop Hoods Initiative Award. Tell us a little bit about that. How did you get involved with that?
And also the Hilltop Hoods, and they basically give 10 grand to an up-and-coming hip-hop or soul artist, and you basically go through like an arts grant process and show them your songs, show them what your plan is for your debut album, and I happened to win it in 2011, so I was very pleased with that.
Yeah, and so you actually ended up doing the show at the entertainment centre. That would have been fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I guess through the grant and stuff, I started to get to know the boys and stuff, and they were happy to have me on board for the Adelaide leg of their tour. And yeah, that was easily the most amazing show I've ever done thus far in my music career. So yeah, that was absolutely amazing.
I mean, there's a little bit of a pretty supportive culture in the hip hop industry in Adelaide. Do you find that that it's pretty good, or is it dog eat dog? How do you find it?
No, not dog eat dog at all. Everyone's really supportive. I guess in Adelaide, because it's a bit smaller than the other states, there's like a really family kind of community feel about it. Like everyone knows everyone, and everyone's really happy to help each other out and stuff. And that's what I love about the hip hop culture in Adelaide.
Yeah, well, we had MC Suffer on the wave a few months ago, and it seems like they really want to get out there and support the youngsters out there. Now, are you a youngster? How long you been in the scene, and how old are you?
I'm 24, so I guess I'm reasonably young still, but I'm starting to see a lot of the other young'uns come up and stuff. So I've been doing this since I was about 15, but probably taking it seriously in the last 5 years or so. So it does take time to start perfecting the craft and stuff. And you look at dudes like Suffer, and they've been doing it for a lot longer than me. So I guess I'm pretty young in the scheme of things.
Now we're here on the wave, and we're talking to Koolta, and we're talking about his latest was released. Is it already released, or are we coming up to the release?
No. It dropped back in July through Obese Distribution. It's called The Extraordinary Average Joe.
Yep.
And you can get that in any good stores. And now we're just pushing the latest single, Possessions.
Okay, no worries. Now, tell us a bit. It's interesting. You sort of tell us about the song, because you've got an interesting slant on this in a sense that. It's it's written about possessions and money, and about your sort of, well, not your projection of your place in the world, so to speak. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
I guess I've always been a fan of songs, and especially songs in the hip hop genre that really tell a story, not just a random theme and just kind of sticking to that, like actually telling a logical narrative. And I guess what I tried to do with Possessions was, with each verse, I had a story for an individual character. So with the first verse, you've got kind of the CEO kind of like character, and with the second verse, it's more of that middle-class worker, which I can kind of relate to. And with the third verse, it's kind of the revolutionary that's got nothing to lose, like the proletariat, if you will. And I just tried to kind of tie together that even though all these different narratives are really different, they all revolve around possessions and money, and that's not really a good thing. So I guess that's what I was trying to go through with the song. And if you check out the video clip for it, the visual really ties together those ideas.
Right, excellent. Yes, I mean, sort of we've got to say, everyone's basically doing the same thing, but we wear different faces as we're doing it, so to speak. Is that sort of what you're trying to say, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, you've hit the nail on the head with that.
Oh, awesome. Now, tell us what's going to be the next step for your career? How are you off touring or?
To push this single, Possessions, I'm going on my first ever headline tour, just around Adelaide in the eastern states. So I'll be hitting Adelaide at Rhino Room on February 1st.
Yep.
And then I'm going to Melbourne on February 2nd, and Brisbane and Sydney the weekend after. So yeah, just hitting some major cities, and it should be really good.
And you've done a little bit of work with Full Toed Odds, who we had a bit of a chat to a couple of weeks ago. They're doing good stuff at the moment. Do you get to play with them much? Oh.
I haven't played with Full Toed Odds before, but we've definitely crossed paths in the past and stuff. I remember back when I was much younger, I was a massive fan of Train of Thought, and that was kind of a few of the boys in Full Toed Odds used to be in that group. So Train of Thought was a big influence on me musically. So it's really good to see what they're doing now with Full Toed Odds. They seem to be killing it at the moment.
Yeah, they are, and I just love the way they mix in a bit of the Adelaide culture into the throes of things. Do you do the same thing? Do you talk about your hometown and your people, or?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean not on every song. Like I tried to, for example, Possessions is quite a broad, kind of song that anyone could relate to anywhere in the world. But there's certain songs on my album that are purely South Australian, I guess. Like I've got one song called Think Tank that's like my ode to iced coffee, so I don't think you're going to find that in many other states other than South Australia.
Right, yeah, no, that's excellent. Now, obviously you've been doing the production for a while. I mean, was producing for other people one of your mainstays, or was it always, you put your career, up front, or is it a blend of both? Or?
Probably about 50-50, really. I do all my production for myself, and I really enjoy doing that. I really just love crafting songs, and it's really personal. But I love working with other artists and helping them with recording and mixing and production. I've worked with quite a few up-and-coming artists and helped them get their debut EPs out there, and it's a really interesting process. So I like working on my own music, but I love working with other artists as well.
Well, it's got a great, and Obese Records, obviously that's a fantastic distribution company to get involved with. There's no real bigger ones for the hip hop genre, and is there? I'd say they're the bee's knees when it comes to distribution for hip hop.
Yeah, I mean pretty much. Like they're basically the cream of the crop when it comes to Australian hip hop distribution, and they're just a great help, and they're providing an avenue that the major kind of labels and the major indie distributors just aren't providing for independent artists. So, all kudos to them.
And you won the Unearthed Park Life competition?
Yeah, that was a massive surprise. Just after I got my album and did some shows after that, Triple J just rang me up and just said that I'll be opening Park Life if I was free. So I logically said yes, and it was just a really big surprise because my music was unearthed and it was getting a lot of play and stuff, but I didn't even realise I was even in the competition. So that was a nice little surprise.
That's fantastic. Look, your work's fantastic. Your production's fantastic. So, you're just going to go from strength to strength. So, people can catch you at the Rhino Room. It's going to be on the 1st of February, which is a Friday.
1st of February, yeah, that's right. And we've got some really good supports as well. We've got MC Prime and Electric Elements from Sydney and Skank MC from Alice Springs. So, we've got, lots of different artists from lots of different places.
And how do people check you out? It's on the Twitter and all that sort of thing?
You can hit me up on the internet, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, Koolta, Koolta. There's not many of us around.
No, look, fantastic. And thank you very much for joining us here on The Wave today. And
thank you, Marty. It's a real pleasure. I'm a down south person, so it's great to be supported by a green community local radio station.
Oh, that's great. Well, you know, we're going to have a chat to you about maybe coming and having a bit of a sing at one of our fundraisers.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Oh.
Yeah, just let me know anytime.
Oh, that'd be excellent. Well, actually, maybe we'll play your song. We're going to play Dreaming Demons. Tell us a little bit about that one. Sounds a bit out there.
Yeah, it is a bit out there. So the next release I'm working on is just a free mixtape with my DJ PT. And Dreaming Demons I only recorded about a week and a half ago. So this is a very fresh little baby.
Excellent. Well, we're going to...
It's a debut on radio, actually.
Excellent. Well, we like doing firsts here, and we've just set up our webcam, so we've got our first viewers from London. So, hi. So there's a few firsts going on at the moment. Just hang on the line a bit because I'd love to have a chat about extra things, and we'll be having a listen to Dreaming the Demons. And good on you, Koolta. Thanks for joining us here on Tribe FM.
No worries, Marty.